All right, welcome back, Gen Xers, to Planet Gen X. I'm Sean, and this is my co-host, Brian. How's it going, Brian?
All right, how about yourself?
Oh, man, I'm doing fantastic. I'm so happy to be here and see all these beautiful people. Like the Royal Sea, if there is such a thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad the weekend's here. I will say that.
Yeah, you've had quite a busy week. We have old Mother's Day coming up on Sunday, which will be past when this video comes out. So y'all will look back and go, yep, Mother's Day is done, come and gone. But you help out a little, well, you can tell it.
Yeah, we have a friend who's a florist, and I help them out every year, Mother's Day and Valentine's Day.
Yep. Been doing that quite a while now.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel bad for them. Like, on the years I have a regular job, they've had to like figure out who they can get to come in and help, and it's always been tragic.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hell, you've been doing it for so long, they don't have to train you to do anything. You know the drill.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, I can see that as being a problem at some point. Like you said, when you have a job.
Yep.
But, yeah, so you've been hella busy. You just rolled in. We had to set up real quick, right?
Yeah, we're late broadcast, right? We're 3 hours past where we usually do it.
Very late. Of course, you took care of your mom. You cooked dinner for her, right?
Yeah, well, I was sitting here eating right before we started, right? Just shoveling food down my throat.
Yeah. I hope we get done in time. I got to go get a fern for my mom over where my wife works at. So, yep. It went over real well last year, so I think why not do it again?
Yeah?
Yeah, she loves ferns.
The florist hit my mom up like she does every year, and she always loves her flowers. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say a happy Mother's Day to my mother. And
same. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Yeah, all the moms out there. I don't think she'll ever see this, but at least I can say that, it's out there, and I want all the other moms to know that we appreciate you.
You put it out in the universe.
That's right. And we appreciate you all so very much, because without you, we wouldn't be here. Of course, anyway, yeah, it still stands. But
it's arguable, right?
Yeah. Nothing eventful for me happened this week that I can think of. It was just a run-of-the-mill week, less stressful and crazy as normal. So I did mow the yard. I'm kicking my yard guy to the curb. He's a brand new guy. We've used him twice, and he's already pissed me off. Lied. When you're in the service business and you feel you need to lie to me, I don't think I need you involved in my life. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But without going into detail, I made sure the lawn was cut before he comes back and tries to see next time if it needs to be cut.
Right.
Oh, hell, something just happened. What the hell is that? Dude, some random scripts just executed on my fucking computer. And I'm sure they'll be on the video. That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, considering I was just messing with some stuff a minute ago. And was
what were you watching?
No, I was dubious about I was trying to get a YouTube program, a YouTube video downloader.
Yeah.
And I was messing with it a bit, and some software we probably shouldn't have been running.
But you know how that goes, kids.
Yeah.
Where sites are useful, but always be ready to format and reload your shit.
Yeah. I ain't worried. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good about checking this thing out. I was doing it for the other day when I was talking to you. I was doing a deep forensic scan, man. You should have seen what I was up to. If there was malware on this computer, I would find it. I'm talking like snippets inside code, all that stuff. Yeah. And I came out of it pretty unscathed. I've been lucky over the years. I think. I have, I did have malware when malware first came out, like adware stuff, till they got the appropriate blocks out. And unless I've deliberately put it on there, I've pretty much known, or I knew it was there and did it anyway. I've never had an issue with something take over my system. I've had what I thought were issues, but it's always, for me, 9 times out of 10, it's some kind of component issue. It's more often than not, like a bad power supply will present as a virus, in a heartbeat. because it just makes the computer act nuts. And you think, what the fuck is going on? It's working fine 1 minute, and the next minute it's acting crazy, you know? So yeah, it could be anything, really. But I've been lucky in that department, knock on wood.
I have a proposition for you.
Oh, my.
How about we start calling this segment of the show the preamble?
The preamble. That's good. I like it. So now I can stick that in the notes. The preamble. And then we'll just put Sean just randomly talks about shit.
Or me.
Yeah.
We just randomly talk about bullshit before we get started.
Random bullshit.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess that's enough random bullshit for now because we do plenty of that during the show anyway. So let's get to the news. All right. And we'll kick it off with a little news for us old school rock and rollers. Aerosmith announced that they are having their last tour ever, their farewell tour. See you later. No more live music from us. At least not as a group.
Adios.
Yep. After 50 years being together.
F7 for Aerosmith.
Man, I'm telling you. And that's a long time, 50 years. You got to hand it to them. And they've broken up in the past. You know, and been together. I know it's happened once. I want to say it's happened twice and they've come back together, but I could be wrong about that second one. Leave us a comment if you know for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. As you're hitting the subscribe button.
Yeah.
And the like button.
Comment and like and bling bling, beep bop boop.
That's right.
But yeah, we were actually talking about that earlier, right? How there was like a marked difference between the era of Dream On from Aerosmith and like there were two from the same album that I remember. One of them was no. So Dream On was in one era, and then there was the era of Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Yeah.
And then they had the Something Wrong with the World Today.
Yeah, well, that same album, too, was that Ragdoll song. Ragdoll.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, they had two off of it.
Yeah, two off that first album when they got back together. Yeah, because you talk about the old days. There was a split up there, and I don't remember exactly when. I think it was in the late 70s before they had that comeback in the mid 80s. Right. But that's all drugs and alcohol and band fighting. And, of course, Joe Perry and him are known as, Steven Tyler are known as the Toxic Twins, you know. It's like two brothers, basically, the way they were.
What's showbiz without drama?
Yeah, right? No doubt. And man, they've put over some. I've never said I've never been an Aerosmith fan, but I've always enjoyed Aerosmith's music. Like, and I guess maybe a little bit in the late '80s when I don't remember what the name of the album was with Love in the Elevator on it.
Yeah, I don't either.
But that was the
same
album.
One that we were just talking about.
Yeah, that album. Well, the one with Dude Looks Like a Lady, I can't remember what that one was called. It's like Aeroplane or something. No. Pump, I think. No, Pump was the one, like the third one after they came back. I don't remember, but they had the one in like '87. That's Dude Looks Like a Lady and Ragdoll on it. And then, well, shit. I don't know. Now I'm starting to think, because I'm.
Hey, if you guys know,
yeah, put it in the comments. There was one where the truck was humping something. That's Pump. That was the late '80s one. They got really huge with that one. The one before that had like a red album cover. It was like Aeroplane or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of remember it. I'm not sure if it was Aeroplane.
Yeah,
but that sounds like it might be or something adjacent.
Yeah, but like Love in an Elevator was on the Pump album. That was the one that really took them to big time. Here we're back. That was the album that made them basically, because they weren't made in the '70s. Right. They were just they
were kind of one hit wonder.
Yeah, pretty much. And y'all, the voice difference on that Dream On. I know that he took up smoking. Steven did to make himself sound to have that. He liked that old jazzy. Like the black guy singing the blues with that old raspy voice, and he wanted
Louis Armstrong type shit.
He wanted to have that type of voice, and it did make a difference. I know a girl who did that too. She was singing back in the day in bands. She smoked to get her voice deeper and raspier.
Didn't he lose some range in that exchange?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, you'd have to. I mean, I'm sure he can do some kind of falsetto, but it probably wouldn't work the same for him as it would have before.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to ask him that.
Maybe.
But he can get, he can get pretty high notes anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But I bet those, because you'll hear it, he'll hit them, but they'll almost kind of have like a dry flatness to them. I bet they would have been a little wetter back in the day before he smoked.
Well, I think about Dream On. That was like height of his vocal range, right?
Yeah, he was really hitting it. I mean, he sounds like a girl.
Yeah.
In many parts of that song. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's not like I'll go out and see this show, but I'm sure it'll be a good show. I'm sure it would be.
If you like old rockers, go check it out.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I wonder if anybody will open for them, or if they'll just they'll be by themselves, just doing their thing.
That's an interesting prospect. It's it could go either way, right?
Yeah, I kind of feel like farewell tours. Should you have an opening band? I mean, like, you got enough material where you could do, if y'all can survive a 2.5 hour show, then do it up. I know Metallica's still doing shit like that, man. They just started their tour. I should even have that news, because they just kicked off their tour in Amsterdam a few days ago. It wasn't long, because I was watching a lot of the stuff from it. Man, you should see the fucking set. I mean, like, every year, they've been doing the in the round stuff lately, where they're right in the center. But that last stage they had was fairly small. This motherfucker they have now is like this giant ring, and the snake pit in the center, they say that snake pit alone is the size of the stage of the last tour. So they have this ring that goes all the way around it. And now the videos I've seen, it has Lars off on one side, and they can run around the whole place. It's got microphones everywhere. And I started thinking, well, I wonder if this was like back in the day when they had the two drum sets. On the Black Album tour, they had the two drum sets that moved up and down. And I was like, I wonder if they have some kind of movement system in it. Well, I found some video where they were doing an interview and talking about it, and they showed a picture of them before the show starts, and they had 4 fucking drum kits on that thing. All the same kits, and they're just, placed at corners, if you can have corners in a circle. Right. Strategic points. And they go down, below the stage, so they can pop one up in one point for one song. And I don't know if some of those back in the day, they moved, like I said, up and down. I don't know if these move forward or rotate at all, because he's had rotating ones.
Right.
It was pretty cool, and it's a yellow drum kit for those drummers out there like me who care. I like it because I got sick of something about, I don't know what it is, man, a drummer with a sparkly drum kit in a metal band. I've really hated that since Lars went to the Sparkly Star Classic kits from Tama. And this new kit looks pretty cool, because in the videos they were doing for these albums, they had the old Tama from the Black Album, the white one with the black hardware, and it looked really cool. So basically, you got a yellow version now. It's really nice. Got off on a tangent, didn't I?
We did, but it was on point, right?
Yeah.
It's all music related.
That's
so
right.
We can move on to the next.
And we're not on a time constraint here at all.
Nah.
Yeah. So let's see. Next thing on the list is Google had the Big I/O 2023 conference, or whatever you call it, this week, and there were quite a few notable announcements in it. A lot of people were very excited to, first of all, we'll just talk about, they announced the Pixel 7a, which I thought, and it's not like the highest of the high, but it's not a shit phone generally.
Right.
No. It's coming out at $499, and I thought that kind of relatively attractive price for a phone, a flagship phone.
I agree. Like 500, that's, I mean, we're going to get into this later, but back in my day.
Yeah, but I mean, these flagship phones are getting, they were up in the $1,000 range, $800 range. So $500, I mean, it's still expensive as shit, but it's reasonable comparatively.
Yeah. I agree.
So the big announcement that everybody was really excited about was there is finally a Pixel foldable.
Right.
And brother, does it have a hell of a price to it too.
No kidding.
$1,800 that thing costs.
Yeah.
Now they showed off the features in it, and a lot of people. I know that Linus was talking about this the other day before the news, and they described everything that it could do about how the Samsung foldables, like YouTube, doesn't even work with Android properly.
Yeah.
And that's their own company and stuff, and how it doesn't look right on the foldable. Like he doesn't have access to certain things in the app that were on the regular phone app and stuff. But after seeing that and then seeing this, they showed off YouTube in the Google thing, and it had all kinds of neat features and new stuff, and it struck me as, well, boom, there's exactly why. They knew they were working on this foldable, and they're not going to make it work for Samsung before they make it work for themselves. So that answers Linus's question right there, if he if he wants the answer. But they did say that for anybody that pre-orders the phone, which it seemed to perform very well, and compared to the Samsung phone, it is flat. Like when you put it together, it's almost the thickness of a regular phone. Like whereas the Samsung one actually kind of has one side a little thicker, and there's that little gap there.
Yep.
So yeah, it's very attractive, and they're offering a free Pixel Watch. And I don't know, that might be why I put the two prices there. I don't know if the Pixel 2, it's not quite come out yet, so it's probably the Pixel 1 watch. They're giving it away free with pre-orders, which is $399. That's a pretty nice little, hey, check out our new product incentive, I gotta say, because it's expensive.
Well, it brings the new tech down to, like, if you were paying for both, like $1,500 roughly, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that's yet another jump in pricing, and probably not the last.
No, I doubt it is either. And yeah, it's probably the Pixel 1, because I would say they're trying to offload them. That sounds like they're trying to offload them before they start the Pixel 2, which I think, if I remember seeing correct, was summer, fall this year, something like that. End of summer and into the fall.
Before Christmas.
Yeah, generally. Exactly. Yeah. The other big announcement, which I actually thought was the coolest thing to me, which I love foldables, and I think eventually I would love to have one, but I'm not really caring right now, is the Pixel tablet they have coming out, because one, I've wanted a decent tablet for a while, and I just do not want an Apple product in my house, because it's for one, never mind the hardware, which is sound, okay?
Yeah.
It's the ecosystem I'm in, and I don't want any part of dealing with Apple anything, iOS, Mac OS, whatever. It feels like a clunky, I don't know, like I'm like I've got a computer made of rocks, like it's a caveman made it. Like a keyboard made with pebbles, keys, and, like a Fred Flintstone computer is what it feels like when I use a Mac.
Yeah.
So they had a cool little dock that it magnetized to, which is a speaker by itself. And then you can set this thing on and charge it, and it just sticks right to it. It was very nice size. Just go check it out. Just go to YouTube and look at the Google I/O 2023. There's plenty of good coverage on there. But the price was $499.
Yeah, their hardware always comes, in my opinion, at a decent price point.
Yeah, and it's one of those.
In general.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, again, it's not the best of the best, but it'll do, pig. You know what I'm saying? It's like a high mid grade.
Yeah, I would say high mid, because you're definitely not getting a baseline product. Right?
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Like some of their cameras might, like leave. It just is what it is. Medium, high end. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's not necessarily the best camera, but a lot of that, again, is the software. It's how much you've got somebody on the back end doing software, which Samsung has great help with. Apple has, great help with. So you give two companies the same CMOS, and you're going to get a different result from each one based on the software that they package with it. So that's pretty much it for the Google I/O. As far as, they had stuff on the AI. Obviously, there was a ton of other stuff, but you're getting into stuff that, like, enterprise things that nobody really cares about. Now, stuff I did, some Great, interesting stuff with their Tensor 2 core products they have for the AI space. It looks really neat. I want to support Google so much. Back in the day, I thought Google was the greatest thing since sliced bread, but just like any huge,
ways.
Yeah, just like any huge company, man, they've lost their mission.
Well, I've said it before. I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it again after this. Their mission statement of "Do not be evil" has been dropped from their charter.
No doubt. Yeah.
So, I mean, that is literally that was in their original charter. They kept it up to a point, and it's gone now.
Yeah. Pretty much about the same time that they cut off everybody's Gmail from growing in size. That would have been about the same time.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah, good stuff there. Hopefully, I don't know what hopefully. Anyway.
We'll see how it impacts the Apple market.
Yeah, right? That's a good hopefully, because it needs some impacting for sure.
Agreed. We got OBS.
Yeah, so I was setting everything up earlier, and OBS hit me with a prompt that I needed to update, and I said, "Why, yes, sir, I'd love to, because I love updates, man. Nothing makes me happier than getting a software update, because that just means y'all fix some shit."
Reading those details, right?
I love to see what's new. I mean, isn't that great? I kind of, I get off on that stuff, man. It's like, oh, hell yeah, they added this. Oh, man, this is awesome.
Oh, they got this new codec?
Yeah. And speaking of, they got this new codec, man. You can finally start streaming live AV1 encoded streams, which is awesome. If you're the people that have some of these new Intel GPUs, you can get right to business. That was one of the selling points of those cards. Considering they weren't super high-end cards, they were great for guys doing video encoding once they get the drivers a little bit better, which they have. They've been on top of. And
I don't know that I have a lot to say about it, but it is definitely a big deal, right?
Yeah, I was trying to think what else is there to say about it. It's the main thing to say about it is eventually we'll all be using AV1. Just go ahead and know that now. It gives you the quality that you expect out of high bitrate videos, but as a significantly lower bitrate. Right. And that's huge, because as our video sizes grow to these 4K, 8K crap, I mean, these servers are starting to get really full. Mm-hmm. And there has to be, and the pipes that serve all of us are getting really full and clogged up with data. So there has to be some innovation there and reduction in size, compression, and stuff like that. And AV1 is it. Right now, anyway, that's what everybody's looking towards the future at.
Yeah. We'll see. Somebody else could always swoop in last minute with a major investment into another company, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like a little small guy in his basement that has something way better, and then some company gets wind of it, and boom, before you know it, yep there it is. And
Amazon.com. Check it out.
Yeah. We had talked, I don't know if it was last week or week before last, about those AMD 7000 CPUs that were getting hosed.
I think it was 2 weeks.
Yeah. So Asus has put a BIOS out that supposedly addresses some of these issues the issue with that was blowing these CPUs up. And the big contention is, though, that this is a beta BIOS. It's listed as a beta BIOS, and their claim for beta BIOS is, as you would expect, I hope you would expect, because anybody who thinks that they're going to get a warranty after using a beta BIOS, right, you're sorely mistaken. And you might still get your warranty if you push hard enough, but you shouldn't, because you're a dumbass for doing it. But in this situation here, they're putting out a beta BIOS to fix a major problem, and it's got a bunch of people spooked about whether or not they'll get, if they're going to use this, or they should just wait. And that sucks, because here you just spent all this money on this new board, new CPU and stuff, and so it's either
what happens if you break it.
Yeah, I either bite the bullet and try this beta BIOS and get the enjoyment of my system, or I sit here and wait and hope that Asus, gets off their ass and does this quickly. There's some companies that are bang on for getting updates out, and other companies just, it's like, where the hell are we? In fact, I might have a rant on drivers and updates later.
Well, I was gonna say, it kind of seems like Asus also had a delineating mark from like before they were known for gaming stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like that was quality products for like a bunch of different markets, and then they got popularized for gaming, and it just kind of went in this one direction. Quality kind of, I wouldn't say quality dropped off. Quality probably increased overall, but
Yeah, it's still pretty
quality
good.
content,
Yeah.
control, stuff like that. It kind of.
Yeah, you're right. In the space before the gaming days, the ROG days, Asus was considered one of the top boards to buy.
Mm-hmm. High performance always.
Yeah, and you paid the price for them too. They weren't cheap.
Yeah.
But that was usually the board we would be recommending. But as far as news goes, that is it. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. So, I guess we'll just go into some of this extra stuff I have. Now, y'all remember last week I was talking about some of these games some games back in the day that I loved, like TIE Fighter, Xwing, TIE Fighter, Xwing Alliance, Bridge Commander. Yes, sir?
Quick note.
Uh-huh.
For those of you who don't know, Amazon Prime is currently linked, I can't remember what it is, but with another game providing service. And they also have Rogue Squadron for free now.
Oh, going up for free. Boy, that game has gone up for free in so many places. I mean,
I know,
goodness.
right?
Oh, wow.
I downloaded it off of Epic, I think.
Yes, we both got it off Epic back in the day, and then I swear I've seen it somewhere else. Well, it's on Game Pass if you pay for Game Pass, so I've got it through there as well. And of course, like you say, now Amazon has it. Yeah, I guess EA is like, here, please take this game. It's not a bad game. I don't understand. I mean, yeah, who knows? Maybe they just figure they got their money out of it. It's something to give away that people like.
I think sometimes companies will do that to like advertise their wares to perhaps drum up business or pump up certain numbers that they can present on their next project.
Sure. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so I'd been looking at these games all have had mods from different various people that have come out, and they've updated the graphics on them. Some, look a few years old. Some, like I had mentioned before, TIE Fighter Total Conversion. It has taken the engine and used the game, Xwing Alliance game, to basically remake the entire TIE Fighter game with all of its updates. I believe it had 2, if I remember right. 2 different expansions you could get for it. So they've taken those and the expansions and completely revamped it with new graphics. And, I told you before, I thought maybe they were like 2010 graphics or something like that. No. It's way better than that. I was completely blown away because after we talked about it, I went and just started looking at more stuff, and I just like, oh my God. And then I finally got it for myself. Go ahead.
I don't have anything off the top of my dome, but I know for a fact there were some definitely remarkable games out in 2010. So far as
sure. Yeah, no, and I'm not knocking. I'm just trying to give people kind of an idea of what certain things would look like back, compared to now. And just the quality. First of all, the fact that TIE Fighter came out in 94. Xwing Alliance came out in 99. And this guy has taken a 99 year, from that year, an engine, and it's spitting out, graphics that rival today's. Like you mentioned, Squadrons. The guy playing it, who I'll mention, the YouTube site that I saw all this on was Mags TV. So I put a link or a little box or whatever in the last video. Yeah, and I'll try and put another one up there. He is doing a great series of running through different missions and stuff like that, because I was considering doing the same thing. I thought, well, why? He's already done it. So I did speak to the lead dev, Angel, who created this. One of the guys, the lead anyway, that created this, and he's offered to do an interview, and I'm thinking about doing it because I do have a lot of questions for those uber nerds out there like me who might be interested in kind of what they went through and to get this to work. That's kind of the questions I have. Right. So I'm thinking about maybe seeing. He's already agreed to do it if I just want to do it. So I may take advantage of it. But go check this thing out on Mags TV, and I'm going to do more. I might do another video altogether about it specifically with the interview if I do the interview. But guys,
looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's interesting because you bring up Squadrons. That I was watching a little bit of the guy Mags TV, his first video, and it's cool because he's got they've even got AR goggles to where you can look around just like in the modern Sims. It's very cool. And the cockpits are laid out beautiful. Even the centerpieces on the TIE fighters that would move are moving with you. They didn't do that in the old game how they were supposed to. Gosh, what else? He re-recorded a ton of dialogue, of stuff that wasn't in there or needed adding because he's added ships. Like I saw the Naboo ship that Queen Amidala had in Revenge of the Sith. They had that in one of the shots. Just amazing stuff. And I think this guy's other thing is he likes to play DCS, doing fighter pilot stuff. Yeah. So it's if you like that stuff too, check his site out. He's got those kind of things on there. But I was I immediately put it on the notes as soon as I saw it. I was like, I did not play this up enough. I mean, guys, if you loved TIE Fighter back in the day and you like Squadrons, but because this guy mentioned Squadrons doesn't play anything handle. They did not get the handling right. TIE Fighter for its day, the handling in game is incredible. I think that's what I was trying to say with all the VR stuff and everything you can do. But the handling is incredible. And he said that Squadrons, while it's still a great game, does not touch TIE Fighter and Xwing Alliance and all that as far as the simulation factor. So yeah, go check it out. I'm definitely going to have a little card that has a link to the YouTube site, and they have a website too, the TIE Fighter Total Conversion website, and I'll get a link to that and all good.
Speaking of conversions, you told me that you like Flight Sim, right?
Oh yeah, love Flight
regular Flight Sim.
Oh yeah.
Is there not a plugin or something, an update to that to give you different kind of ships and cockpits of fantasy stuff like Star Wars?
Now in the old version, now I'm sure there is in the new one. I've just recently in the last year fooled around with the new one, and I've done nothing mod wise to it. I know there's regular airplanes and stuff that obviously you can get different versions of airplanes. There was the ones I've used back in the day. You could have different type stuff, but I mean, as far as being on Earth, it's not that exciting,
Right.
There was another one. What's it? I can't think of the name of it now. The other major flight simulator. I cannot think of what it's called. But they had I don't know if they still have it in there, but a couple versions back they had Mars, and somehow you could do some kind of rocketry thing or space flight thing in it. And go from Earth to Mars, I believe, or maybe you could just fly. I don't remember. I think it was just simulating Mars. I don't even know. I wish I could remember the name. Everybody's sitting there screaming at their monitors right now, going, "God damn, it's this!" You can leave it in the comments. You know what I'm talking about anyway. There's only two major flight sim programs, and it's the other one that ain't Microsoft.
Right.
But I was talking about drivers earlier, and I was noticing, so I have a laptop over here, and occasionally I have to get the Intel program that keeps the drivers updated for most of the drivers on here, not everything. But so it popped up, and it does it just about every week. It'll pop up with different stuff because I don't use it but once a week. And it says something about my wireless, driver needed update. And I'm like, cool, sure, do your thing, download, install. And then I noticed it said, I don't know if it was when it was finished or whatever, but it said you're going from version 20.0.da, right? To version 22 Dun, 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 dun. And I started thinking,
Just
what
get
the
the whole
fuck?
number.
Yeah. I mean, where the hell? Now, I've been updating this thing like crazy. So how the hell did I go from version 20 to 20? Where is all the other versions in between? And it got me thinking, like, why? Why does it even do that? Because I don't understand. Like, first of all, companies always, the way they version their stuff is vastly different anyway. And if you don't know, it's usually, well, it should be always, it's tied to the dev system and how they update each bug and reference it, and every fix gets a point upgrade. So you usually only see like version, say 20 dot whatever. You might see the dot whatever, and that's it. You're not going to see much more than that. Anything else is usually just for the developers and uber nerds. But if it's like a major revision, you're going to go from 20 to 21. Okay? If it's just like an update, you're going to go from like 20 to 20.1 or 20, 0.2.
20.001.
It could be, yeah. It could be whatever. If they like, okay, so what I'm getting at, the more points it has after it means it's just breaking it down into how many updates it has. So like when you look at like Microsoft's numbers or whatever, you'll see 20.0.000.0000. Well, that's just, when you get down into those last zeros, that's like every time somebody makes one single update to code, the number goes up.
Bloop. Yeah.
Yeah. And so usually they'll revision based on that, and then they'll know, okay, well, we're kind of, and see, here's where it gets weird, because when you're a big company like Microsoft, you're not necessarily, see, they're still at version 10 with Windows 11, technically. Windows 11 was always meant to be version 10X originally. So when we get version 12 of Windows, it's likely still going to be version 10 of Windows, just with all the extra ... So it just drives me crazy. What possibly could have happened between version, and I get like, we're not going to see everything. We're not, because a lot of it's just, they're point revisions, like I said. So it's just updates, and it's not necessarily something you want the customer to have. I get that. So I can understand, like, but why didn't I get 21? That's what I'm saying. So I can understand why I didn't get any other updates, but why didn't I get 21?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes, please.
So there's the other side of what you were just talking about with the point system to a revision. Some companies, this, they will bundle like new innovations and application and stuff. Like if they have something like, hey, now you can add this to it. Sometimes they consider that like a significant point upgrade.
Yeah.
They'll consider quality of life controls. Like I'm sure they have like full flow charts of determining points, but some of it is not about fixing problems. Some of it is about showcasing something, adding new functionality,
Yeah.
It can be fringe stuff like, most people won't use, but, a lot of times they'll pad their revision number with that. I don't know why. Why would you want to pad a revision number? But
well, that's why I think in Windows case, maybe they should, if they're going to call it Windows 11, then they need to update that, at least that first number to 11. If nothing, I don't know. It's just something that it caught my eye, and I thought, what the fuck? That's a major gap.
Yeah.
In especially, but this is Intel we're talking about too. So they are spitting out code like crazy. I mean, if you guys followed the whole GPU thing when the A380s came out last year, they came out with like crap drivers, and it was just comical the things that they were doing that they released to the public. But to Intel's credit, they were on that stuff, man. It didn't take long at all before they had major things fixed. And it wasn't perfect, but they've obviously got the people to get things done when they focus it right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they had some great cards during the 2080 season, right?
Yeah. Yeah, what can you say, man? Anyway, that was just my little rant about version numbers. I just thought it was funny. It was just something that caught my eye right before we literally got on air, because I just popped the laptop on. But anywho, Anything interesting you want to throw out there? We could call it a show. We could talk about something else, or
I actually have some stuff I want to talk to you about afterwards, but
Okay.
I am starting to think of doing. You had mentioned you might have an interview available. I had some thoughts on some separate podcast stuff that I wanted to do in my own time.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering if maybe we could kind of schedule these and see about other formats if we want to break from the news and do like deep dives or something like that. But kind of give you the option to work with your schedule, and we can have like a committed podcast for like music appreciation. I personally think comedy, discussing comedy, breaking it down, the mechanics of it, and all that stuff, focusing on different genres and stuff like that. I think that would do well for us if we did that. But just a thought.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
curious what people out there think. Like, I was telling Brian earlier, like Art Picard videos did really, really well for some reason, whereas comparatively to everything else, it looks like crap comparatively. But what other things do you like us talking about? Maybe that's the direction.
Yeah, let us know, because we would love to change it up a little bit, get some additional content, right?
Yep. As you're typing it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button. We're still trying to climb up there. We've got to get new subscribers here and there, but not nearly as good as that Twitter run I'm having, man. My God, yeah. I'm gonna hit that 300 this weekend. I know I am. I got to get that 500, man, so I can turn on that subscribe button.
Right.
I just got to make some money.
Well, hopefully some new projects will help with that, right?
Yeah. Indeed. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And as always, we'll see you on the flip side. Be excellent to each other.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. All right, we're not clear yet. Let's get a couple real quick, just like a wave or point or something. Just do something. Hey guys, how you doing today?
This hand or this hand?
Do your left hand. So you're opposite me, yes. Hey guys, just mug at the camera. Hey guys, how you doing, man? Hey, all right, yeah, just mug for a minute, make different postures. I'll just pick from all of this, whatever's best. Thanks, guys. All right, yeah, all right.
Some finger guns.
Yeah, so give some finger guns. Finger guns. I gotta go over here. Finger guns. All right, let me stop this video before I accidentally don't edit it out and we look like idiots.